the citation of a colossus in the academic space. So I would like to ask you to please relax and let's go on this journey together. If we are to mention all the achievements of this personality, we will not leave this place today. So with his permission, we are taking the abridged version of the citation, and we will continue to abridge as we go on. My name is Uwa Suleiman, and with your permission, sir, my boss, I would like to introduce myself still as your spokesperson to the participants at this event. May I respectfully ask my boss, this is one of the few times when I have the privilege of giving my boss respectful instructions. May I respectfully request my boss to please rise and remain standing while I read his very, very distinguished. Thank you very much. Professor Isa Ali Ibrahim Pantami, Commander of the Order of the Niger, is a policymaker, a regulatory expert, a farmer, a scholar, a consultant, and an academic who served as the Minister of Communications and first ever of Digital Economy of the Federal Republic of Nigeria from 2019 up till the successful completion of the administration in 2023. He also has the distinction of being the first ever African to be certified as a fellow of the Chartered Institute of the Information Security. It is the only professional cybersecurity organization granted the Royal Charter of Incorporation in the United Kingdom. He also holds the prestigious title of Majidad Daulat Usmaniya, which translated means the glorious one of the Ottoman Ibn Fodio Empire, which was conferred on him by His Eminence, the Sultan of Sokoto. He attended the Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University and obtained a 5-year bachelor's degree in BTech, Bachelor of Technology. He also proceeded to acquire 2 master's degrees in quick succession in the same university, one in computer science and another in management. He thereafter went on to work at the same university as a programmer, graduate assistant, assistant lecturer, lecturer 2, and lecturer 1, where he spent at least 11 years as an academic. His scholarly pursuits led him to the prestigious Robert Gordon University in the United Kingdom for a PhD. Thereafter, after he obtained his doctoral degree in computer information in 2014, he also obtained a 1-year postgraduate certificate in research methods from the same university in the United Kingdom. After his PhD, he was appointed by the government of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia as an assistant professor, senior lecturer ranking in 2014 at the International University of Medina. He taught several courses in the Faculty of Computing and Information Systems and also served as the head of technical writing. In 2016, he was appointed by the President of Nigeria as the Director General and Chief Executive Officer of the National Information Technology Development Agency, NITSDA. He repositioned the agency as the Apex IT Research and Development Agency and the highest regulator of IT in the country. As the CEO of the Federal Parastatal, he developed over 12 regulatory instruments. He also established digital centers as an intervention to over 200 institutions and awarded several postgraduate scholarships to students to study emerging technologies. Professor Pantami also increased internally generated revenue by over 300%. Within 3 years, he received over 100 national and international awards. As an academic and as the Director General of NITDA, he continued his academic activities with the National Open University of Nigeria, now Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, as champion, and partnered with several other universities to develop ICT law, among others. He has also published several peer-reviewed journal articles as the CEO of NITDA. In 2019, he was appointed as the Minister of Communications and the first ever of digital economy of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And as a cabinet minister, he championed the development and implementation of 23 national policies, an unprecedented record in the history of Nigeria. He also increased the ICT contribution to the gross domestic products to 18.44%. That achievement catapulted the sector to become the fastest growing sector in Nigeria's economy in the year 2020. As per executive bills, he developed the Nigeria Startup Act of 2022 and the Nigeria Data Protection Act of 2023, which led to the establishment of the Nigeria Data Protection Commission. In 2022, based on the independent assessment of the KPMG and the FCDO of the United Kingdom, in collaboration with the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, he was judged the best minister of Nigeria, and he and his team got an average of 174% in all the 8 priority areas given to him on assumption of office. The independent assessment found that he increased revenue generation for government by 594% in 2022, while also reducing the prices of broadband and other products by over 60% within the period. In his 4 years, or 3.5 years of his tenure as a federal minister, he designed and executed a record-breaking 4,366 projects and programs in the digital economy sector. He also holds the credits to establishing the first National Artificial Intelligence and Robotics Center in Africa. In 2022, Professor Pantami was also appointed by the United Nations through the International Telecommunications Union as the chairman of the World Summit on Information Society in 2021. As the chairman of that society, he chaired the Council of 193 plus global digital economy ministers. His tenure recorded unprecedented achievements as attested to by the Secretary General of ITU and other global stakeholders. He was appointed by MIT REP, that is the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, to serve as champion from 2019 to 2022. As the champion, he led in the area of research, innovation, entrepreneurship, and mentorship. This responsibility led to the development of the Nigeria Startup Act 2022. As Director General of NITDA and as a federal minister, he is the recipient of over 220 awards, both locally and internationally. In 2022, the presidency awarded him with the Award of Excellence in Governance for the best performing minister for creative thinking, innovation, and service delivery. This award was presented by the then President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The federal government furthermore also recognized and conferred on him the national honor of the Commander of the Order of the Niger, CON, in 2023. Professor Pantami is the Chancellor of the University of Quranic and Islamic Sciences in Jazeera, Republic of Sudan. He is on the Board of Trustees of Phoenix University and on the Governing Council of Rayhan University. Professor Pantami has published over 10 books, several referred journal articles, and attended over 190 conferences and workshops, to mention but a few. He also serves as a consultant to many national and international institutions and companies. Furthermore, he is a recipient of 2 honorary doctorate degrees, one from the Sudan Public University in 2021 and the other from Achievers University, Ondo, Akure, Ondo State in 2022. He was also conferred with the highest distinguished fellowship awards by the Federal College of Education, Technical, Gombe in 2021, and another highest distinguished fellowship award by the Federal Polytechnic, Kazaure in 2024. He was also elected into the Governing Council of ITU of the United Nations in 2022. Furthermore, in July of 2022, he was unanimously nominated in absentia. He was not present, but at a global forum, he was unanimously nominated and appointed as the vice chairman to the statutory statutory chairman of African ministers. In September of 2022, he was appointed to chair the Forum of African Ministers in Bucharest and led the African candidate to win the position of a director at the International Telecommunications Union. In addition, his performance in service delivery, research, and policy formulation, among others, was commended by many Many global leaders have commended Professor Pantami, and he has presented several convocation lectures during graduation ceremonies in several institutions, too many to count. May I, with your permission, skip the list of schools because there are too many to count, sir? He also serves as a resource person and guest speaker to the National Institute of Policy and Strategy, the National Defense College, and the National Intelligence Agency, among others. Professor Pantami also holds certificates in digital transformation from Harvard University. He holds a certificate in digital strategy from both the Massachusetts Institute of Technology and Institute of Management Development, Lausanne, Switzerland. He further obtained the strategic leadership from Oxford University. In addition, he also attended and got the certificate of bespoke program on lawmaking at the Sussex Law School, University of Sussex. Professor Isa Ali Ibrahim Pantami has obtained the University of Cambridge's Certificate on Strategic Management. The dynamic inspiration agent of transformation is also a conflict resolution expert with national and international experiences. In 2021, after the successful positive external assessments of his publications, among others, Professor Isa Ali Ibrahim Pantami, CON, was appointed as the first professor of cybersecurity at the Federal University of Technology, Owerri, FUTO, by the Governing Council of the university. He currently teaches and supervises PhD students and partakes in community services. Professor Pantami has served as keynote speaker during several global events, including the World Mobile Congress in Barcelona, the Future Technology Forum in the United Kingdom, the United States African Leaders Forum organized by the White House in Washington, D.C., the Gulf Information Technology Exhibition, GITEX, in Dubai, the Global Cybersecurity Forum in Riyadh, the Global AI Forum also in Riyadh, the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas, the LEAP Conference in Riyadh, the UAE Council for Fatwa in Abu Dhabi, amongst many, many others. In 2024, Professor Issa was appointed as the co-chairman by the African Union through the African Scientific Research and Innovation Council to develop the fourth industrial revolution policy and strategy for the continent. He is the sole representative of West Africa in the council. Professor Issa Ali Ibrahim Pantami is a global citizen. A respected scholar. He is a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Information Security. He is a fellow of the British Computer Society. He is a fellow of the Nigeria Computer Society. He is a fellow of the Cybersecurity and Cybercrime Forensic Specialist Group. He is a fellow, Computer Registrations Council of Nigeria. He is a chartered computer scientist. He is a chartered cybersecurity professional. Ladies and gentlemen, Professor Issa is happily married with children. On that note, with permission from our VC, may I humbly and proudly request the presence of the chairman of the International Organizing Committee and the local organizing committee of this conference to please come forward and present his keynote address titled The Fourth Industrial Technologies, Opportunities and Challenges for the Developing Countries. You are welcome, sir.
Yes, please. Our special guest of honor, His Excellency Governor of FUTO, represented by the Commissioner of Digital Economy, Honorable Dr. Amadi Chimezi, our chief host, and also our respected Vice Chancellor of the Federal University of Technology, Owerri, Your Lady, the incorruptible leader that has been vindicated by the way and manner she managed the election of Abia State. Even though our party lost the election, but we always stand and promote justice and fairness. Professor Inena Oti, the Vice Chancellor of Harvard University from Bayelsa, our three Deputy Vice Chancellors here present, permit me to acknowledge my Dean, School of Information and Communications Technology of FUTO, Professor UFAZ, and the immediate past Dean of the faculty, Professor Gloria. members of IOC and LOC here present with us, including my head of department, Professor Onoja here with me, keynote speakers, guest speakers, academics, members of the private sector, participants, ladies and gentlemen of the press, all other protocols duly and respectfully observed. Good afternoon to all of you, and may peace, mercy, and blessings be upon you. As I stand before you, I will address you with two caps. Number one, as the chairman of the IOC/LOC that organizes this first ever international conference of the School of ICT in FUTO. And secondly, as one of the keynote speakers. However, when I was requested to serve as the keynote speaker, I resisted. But the secretary of our committee, and the associate dean, Dr. Okoli, insisted that as the chairman, I must also serve as one of the keynote speakers. Looking at the pressure he put on me, I had no option but to accept. As the chairman of the IOC and LOC, permit me to begin by appreciating our Vice Chancellor for approving the conference to take place, and secondly, for creating time out of no time to be here in person. We know how busy she was. Particularly, we had our convocation just last Saturday, only 3 days ago, where she hosted the First Lady and other governors, at least 3 governors, were on this campus. In addition to so many vice chancellors, other respected personalities. Traditionally, the vice chancellor is supposed to be online, staying at home, responding to our official emails. However, because of the attention she gives to our school, she created time out of no time to be here with us from the beginning up to this moment. Ma, we are most appreciative, and we are also proud of you, and we pray to the Almighty to continue to guide you in order to continue to take our university to greater heights. To our Dean, IOC, and LOC members, I am very proud of you. We had so many meetings in order to ensure that this conference takes place. Most of you have been creating time to attend our meetings, some physically, some virtually. There was a time that I even insisted that we should push it forward, at least for 3 months. The dean resisted and said, let us just go ahead. It's the first one. And I immediately complied. And now we are here attending the opening ceremony. My dean, Professor UFAZ, we are very proud of you. And we are also very proud of the leadership you provide for our School of ICT. The same to my head of department and all other heads of departments of computer science, IT, software engineering. We are all very proud of you. And as they said, the reward of hard work is more work. I do hope that our second international conference, we are going to raise the bar at least by 500% to ensure that forward ever, backward never. Furthermore, as the keynote or one of the keynote speakers of the conference, where we converge here to discuss about the 4th industrial technologies, opportunities and challenges for developing countries. This theme is very apt And I'm excited to address this theme before you, as I happen to be the co-chair of the African Union Fourth Industrial Revolution Policy Formulation Council under ICICT. It is exactly the same way, the same work we have been working on for the 54 African countries, working day in, day out in order to formulate a policy that is going to be implemented by the 54 African countries under the African Union. It is because of this that I commend our university, and I also commend our School of ICT for coming up with a theme that is very relevant: fourth industrial technologies, opportunities and challenges for the developing countries. Before we speak superficially on the fourth industrial technologies, we need to speak even briefly about the first, second, and the third industrial revolution, because learning from history is important. When you study history, you know where you come from, where you are, and where you are heading to. Without studying history, it is absolutely difficult for us to be on track. It is because of this we need to briefly review the first, second, and the third industrial revolutions and the technologies that were invented during these revolutions, so that we can speak on the fourth industrial revolution and know where we are heading to. The first industrial revolution took place around 18th century. To be specific, around 1,740 years. Largely, the first industrial revolution took place in the United Kingdom, particularly in Liverpool and Manchester. And the major breakthrough of the first industrial revolution was the invention of a steam power, or what is called steam energy. That is the major invention and the major breakthrough of the first industrial revolution in order to facilitate and ease our means of transportation, particularly rail, road, and sea. So steam power facilitated and simplified communication during the first industrial revolution. Before the invention of steam power, more than 90% of the whole world was into agriculture and trade. No more, no less. With the invention of steam power, steamboat came into existence, like in Delaware, Atlantic Ocean, from Delaware in the US up to Europe. And the invention of steam power was facilitated by James Watt around 1955. His invention was the major century, up to around the middle of the 20th century. That is, to be specific, from around 1855 up to around 1920. The major invention of the second industrial revolution, the major inventions were electricity, mass production, the invention of television, transistor, particularly in electronics engineering. In addition to that, also, the invention of telegraph and telephone. Telegraph was invented by Samuel Morse around 1856. Building on that, around 1890, telephone was invented by Alexander Bell. Later on, transistor, among few others. So the major inventions of the second industrial revolution were electricity, telephone, telegraph, radio, transistor, even electric bulb were all invented during the second industrial revolution. The first industrial revolution, as earlier mentioned, took place in the United Kingdom. In addition to that, few European countries came up with few inventions like Belgium, Germany, and France. While during the Second Industrial Revolution, UK was leading, followed by Germany, Belgium, France, and later on the United States of America. UK was leading in the first and second, and Germany, Belgium, France, and the US were following the UK. They were called chess group. They were chasing the leader at that time, that was the United Kingdom. So all these inventions took place during the Second Industrial Revolution. So the First Industrial Revolution was the era of steam power and mechanical production, while the Second Industrial Revolution was the era of electricity, invention of television, transistor, telegraph, telephone, among others. The success of the Second Industrial Revolution was higher than that of the First Industrial Revolution. However, the entire success of the Second Industrial Revolution was built on the success and the invention of the First Industrial Revolution, because they are interwoven. Unfortunately, the Second Industrial Revolution was halted by the First World War and the Second World War. There was a time that invention stopped completely, was halted completely. Why? Because scientists, researchers, and investors were struggling to avoid being killed during the First and the Second World War. So completely, it was halted. There wasn't any significant success, particularly during the last 30 years of the Second Industrial Revolution. We know how the world utilized uranium by developing atomic bombs that killed many innocent people in Hiroshima and other places like in Germany. So unfortunately, the Second Industrial Revolution was halted. However, before halting the Second Industrial Revolution, let us not forget even the achievements of Albert Einstein, particularly with regards to the general theory of relativity. And it was in 1921 he was awarded with the Nobel Prize over his research in physics. And immediately after that, the world was engulfed into war. And that completely halted the Second Industrial Revolution. After the Second World War, scientists, researchers, and inventors went back to their laboratory and their research libraries. And this is what brought about the Third Industrial Revolution. The Third Industrial Revolution was largely with regards to ICT. The Third Industrial Revolution commenced around 1955, after the Second World War. The major inventions of the Third Industrial Revolution were largely in the area of ICT, the invention of modern computers, then World Wide Webs and HTML by Tim Berners-Lee. He is still alive. In addition to that, the Third Industrial Revolution witnessed the invention of TCP/IP, Transmission Control Protocol /IP. All these achievements within the area of ICT were part and parcel of the Third Industrial Technologies. So the significant achievements of what we are witnessing today in the area of ICT were built on the inventions of the Third Industrial Revolution. The Second Industrial Revolution, as earlier mentioned, took place in Europe and America, particularly North America. However, during the Third Industrial Revolution, some new entries joined the Industrial Revolution, like Japan and Australia. They were the new entries during the Third Industrial Revolution. Now we are in the Fourth Industrial Revolution. And the Fourth Industrial Revolution commenced informally around 2001, 23 years ago. However, a leading scholar in engineering and economics, and also the founder of the most influential economic forum, that is the World Economic Forum, Professor Klaus Schwab in Germany, published a book entitled The Fourth Industrial Revolution in 2015. And he argued in that book that we are already in the fourth industrial revolution as early as 2001 or thereabout. In that book, he argued that the fourth industrial revolution is really amazing and mind-boggling, because most of the advanced technologies, emerging technologies, or disruptive technologies we have today are part and parcel of the fourth industrial revolution, and by implication, they are fourth industrial technologies in artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, Internet of Things, nanotechnology, biotechnology, telemedicine, digital agriculture, augmented reality, virtual reality, cloud computing, data science, big data analytics, among others. They are part and parcel of the fourth industrial technologies. Interestingly, unfortunately, this is the only industrial revolution that Africa is not far from the developed countries. And this is the only industrial revolution that many countries are involved, including Nigeria. If you look at the quality of our startups in Nigeria, you will strongly argue that Nigeria is part and parcel of the fourth industrial revolution, because world-class technologies and world-class startups are emerging from Nigeria and other African countries like Egypt, South Africa, Kenya, Morocco, Tunisia, among others. In addition to that, you will discover that there are many new entries in the fourth industrial revolution, including China. And interestingly, China is a new entry, not part of the first, second, and third. They are in the fourth industrial revolution and not lagging behind, but in the forefront. Malaysia, Indonesia, India, United Arab Emirates, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Brazil, they are all part and parcel of the fourth industrial revolution. And you will discover that the startups coming from this country are making the whole world proud. Take, for example, in Nigeria, we have around 5 to 6 unicorns. In Africa, we have around 8 to 9 unicorns. More than 70% of African unicorns are from Nigeria. And with all sense of humility, up to January this year, all the 5 unicorns in Nigeria that attained that position reached that level during my time in office. All of them. A unicorn is a new company that has a market value of a minimum of 1 billion USD. And out of 7 unicorns in Africa, as at January 2024, out of 7, 5 are from Nigeria. And all of them attained that position either during my time as the DG of NIDA or as a minister in charge of digital economy. And that is what motivated us to come up with the Nigeria Startup Act 2022 in order to provide the enabling environment for our young innovators to leverage on that in order to make us proud. There are so many opportunities in the fourth industrial revolution when we engage in fourth industrial technologies. One, job creation and economic development. This is one of the major opportunities. Today, according to the World Economic Forum, in the area of artificial intelligence, we have approximately, from now to 2025, we have approximately 97 million new jobs in the area of AI. By 2025, we will have 97 million new jobs. This is just in the area of AI, without considering other innovations or other technologies in the fourth industrial revolution, only in AI. In the area of cybersecurity, higher level, not just lower level, as of today, we have over 3.7 million new jobs. And you have millions of jobs in big data analytics, in blockchain technology, Internet of Things, in the area of nanotechnology, biotechnology, among others. Number two opportunity we have in the fourth industrial revolution under the fourth industrial technologies is in the area of skill and knowledge development. Through the fourth industrial technologies today, distance is no more a challenge for you to enhance your knowledge and skills. You can sit at the comfort of your home. You can enroll in so many certifications that are recognized globally. And you can compete with the citizens of any country globally through that certifications. Because of the fourth industrial technologies, today we have full-fledged virtual universities. Even in Nigeria, we have the first ever virtual university, that is Iconic University. Even the Vice Chancellor of Iconic University is a member of our IOC and LOC of this conference. If you go through Stanford University and also MIT, you'll discover that they have over 600 world-class contents of courses that are being delivered today virtually. You can obtain degree, MSc, PhD, many certifications that are recognized globally online. So this is another opportunity that we need to leverage on. Sometimes you don't need to travel far. You can be at home, you can enhance your skills and knowledge, and you can compete anywhere globally. Area number 3 among the opportunities is with regards to digital agriculture, or what we call precision agriculture, or smart agriculture, or fourth industrial agriculture. By reducing water consumption, reducing the demand for more investment, and this is the same model being implemented by the Netherlands. The Netherlands is a small country if you consider the land mass, which is approximately around 40,000 square kilometers. 6 states, each and every one is larger than the Netherlands in Nigeria, each one. And the population of the Netherlands as a country could be equated to either the population of Lagos or Kano. But what they generate through digital agriculture today sometimes is more than 10 times what we generate in Nigeria through oil and gas. More than 10 times, like in 2017, what they generated through digital agriculture, more than 10 times what we generated through oil and gas. Why? By deploying AI, drones, Internet of Things. We have vertical agriculture today. We have soilless agriculture. You don't even need soil in some places. You can have vertical agriculture today. Hydroponics agriculture. By deploying the fourth industrial technologies, we can enhance and increase the quantity of what we produce by 500% while reducing even our investment by 300%, as the case may be. And with the challenges of insecurity, by going far from our towns and cities, using your backyard at home, you can partake in digital agriculture. So this is another opportunity that we must leverage on that has been provided by the fourth industrial technologies. The same in the area of access to energy, renewable energy, through solar or wind, as the case may be. Before coming to this event, we had to visit even our project that was attracted by the Vice Chancellor for the solar energy on campus. This is another opportunity being provided by the fourth industrial technologies. The same in the area of environment. In addition to that, the same in the area of healthcare. Today we have telemedicine. Only this year, a surgery was conducted, and the distance between the medical doctor and the patient was over 4,000 kilometers. Using 5G technology with real-time communication, the surgery was conducted successfully. So in the next few years, because of these opportunities, you don't need to travel far for medical attention. You can be in your state, in your local government, most probably 10,000 kilometers away from the medical doctor. And he can go through your record, and sometimes he can even conduct surgery virtually because of that real-time communications. A surgery was conducted from the US to China also recently to address the challenge of Parkinson. So this is another opportunity. And because of these emerging technologies, we also have even virtual holiday today. If you have no money, you don't need to travel physically. You can convince your family so that they can partake in virtual holiday. From here, they can visit Dubai virtually, go to any shopping mall, move to London using augmented reality and virtual reality. They can be in New York, Washington. They can visit Maldives while at the comfort of their homes. This is a virtual holiday, and it is an opportunity that has been provided by the fourth industrial technologies. So we can leverage on. If you can engage your spouse, argue with them politely, you can save money. You don't need to always travel physically. The same in the area of security. There are many opportunities provided by the fourth industrial revolution. I'm glad that the commandant of army is also here with us. Today, with the emerging technologies of the fourth industrial revolution, all the systems that we need in order to ensure that our places are secured, there are better platforms today. Many of them you have in command system, control system, communication system, computer system, intelligence systems, information systems, reconnaissance systems, surveillance system. All of them, today you have fourth industrial technologies into these systems, and they enhanced the quality, precision, and accuracy. So these are some of the opportunities. However, there are also challenges. Our major challenge in the developing countries, as we know, according to the United Nations Human Capital Index, the major differences between the developed and the developing countries are in the area of economic, social, and human development. This is the major difference. And you will discover that most of the developing countries are in Africa, part of Asia, and South America, while the developed countries are mostly in Europe and North America. However, some of them now are emerging from the Middle East, which is part of Asia. Because of their resources, they are leveraging on that to be in the same lane with the developed countries. Recently, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia invested over 40 billion USD into artificial intelligence, only AI. 40 billion, almost twice the double of our federal government budget in Nigeria. Almost twice the entire budget of the federal government. And this is only in AI, not cybersecurity, not block, only AI. And not the entire budget of education, not their investment in education, only in AI, only one element of these emerging technologies, over 40 billion USD. But today, even the whole budget of the federal government, if you use today's exchange rate, is less than 21 billion USD. So our major challenge in the developing countries, number one, infrastructure gap is a major challenge. When it comes to broadband penetration, data centers, among others. Today, even broadband, because of the economic challenges we are having, even broadband is no more a necessity but a luxury. Even some academics cannot afford broadband 24/7, particularly while at home. Today, broadband is supposed to be available the way we breathe in our oxygen. That is how it should be, because it is into whatever we do, education, health, communication, and everything. Number two, skill gap is another challenge. We undermine social, soft, and technical skills in the developing countries. While in the developed countries, this is always their priority, how to enhance the skills of their citizens. Look at the model of Switzerland, Finland, and also recently even India. Providing skills to our citizens is very important for us in order to be successful in the fourth industrial revolution. Number three, brain drain. Many talented people from the developing countries are more interested in migrating to the developed countries. The pay is by far higher there. A medical doctor being paid most probably less than 500,000 naira here. If he leaves Nigeria to another country like Saudi Arabia, he will be paid most probably around $8 million monthly. If you compute this amount, you are talking of around 14 to 15 million naira. What he gets monthly there, in Nigeria, he cannot get it within 2 years. This is just an example. And no matter how you want to show solidarity to your country, there are things that are necessity. However, I am not encouraging you to migrate. It is our collective responsibility to fix our country. It is our collective responsibility. But when the opportunity provides itself to you, you may wish to utilize for a few years to gain international experience, the way all of us did. I was outside the country before returning to Nigeria, so there is no problem in utilizing the opportunity, even for a few years, so that at least you can be stable. And this is indeed very important. Challenge number four, lack of effective laws and policies in the developing world. You will realize that some of our young innovators, we fail to provide the enabling environment to come up with policies for them to be successful. This is also another challenge. Lack of, the issue of literacy is another challenge. So these are some of the challenges we are being confronted with in the developing countries. However, we have no shortage of talent in Nigeria. There is no shortage of talent in Africa. There is no doubt about this. When we continue to provide the enabling environment, our country is going to be successful in the fourth industrial revolution, and all other developing countries are going to be successful. And I do hope that this conference that we have organized will come up with a communique at the end of it, where government is going to be advised, academia is going to be advised, and also the private sector or the industry, because they are key: government, academia, and industry. We must ensure that there is a constant interaction between these three institutions for our ecosystem to progress. And this is indeed very important. Once again, thank you very much for being part of this, our international conference. May the Almighty bless the Cybersecurity Department of FUTO. May the Almighty continue to bless the School of ICT of FUTO. May the Almighty bless the Federal University of Technology, FUTO. May the Almighty bless Imo State. And may the Almighty bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And may the Almighty bless our Vice Chancellor, the Iron Lady,